Come, Nerevar, come, witness the tier list of Dunmer Waifus from across different eras in Tamriel. All of them are nobles or sort of nobles because I am a god and I am the leader of House Dagoth. So all the Dunmer Waifus on this list honor the 6th house and the Tribe Unmourned, or so I hope. No, there are no non-Dunmer Enwas on this list as they do not honor the 6th house and the Tribe Unmourned. This tier list belongs to 6th house records. Let's begin, Moon and Star. We start with the Fear Sisters. You see, they are supposed to be Dagoth Ur's daughters, but they are not exactly his daughters, more like his clones. He describes them as a side benefit for his research into the corpus disease that I inflicted upon Morrowind. So I sort of played an indirect role in their creation. Let's break them down individually. Alfie Fear is definitely the alpha out of all the Fear Sisters. She is considered to be the smartest and the most talented of them. She must also be the very first of them, since she is, named Alfie. Apparently, she is also one of those characters that are so important to the story, should something happen to her, you break the prophecy and cannot defeat me by traditional means. However, due to her being a clone of Dagoth Ur, she belongs in the D tier. Beta Fear is, well, just a lousier version of Alfie Fear, so she's a beta, basically. Still, she's technically an essential character. There is nothing more I can say about her other than she's basically also a lesser clone of Dagoth Ur. For that fact alone, D tier. Delt Fear at least has a function in this dysfunctional family. She manages the Fear family finances. They basically use her as an accountant. Again, though, the fact that she is a Dagoth Fear clone, she belongs in the D tier. Fear, despite her name, is not an oopsie. In fact, she is actually down in the Corpusarium taking care of the sick. And she is actually the only one of the Fear Sisters that gives you a quest, Nerevar. She asks you to retrieve a Gwarskin drum to calm down the Corpus patients. Despite her being last and probably unwanted compared to the other Fear Sisters, I do have some respect for her. They probably sent her to the Corpusarium because they didn't care about her as much. Unlike her other sisters, if you decided to get rid of her, you are still allowed to proceed with the quest. She is related to Dagoth Ur, but you know what? I will give her a very generous C tier. I am a god. How dare you question a god? Next on the list is Almalexia. Almalexia, really? You put this false god on the tier list and claim her as a Dunmer Waifu. She did not even transform from a Chimer into a Dunmer. Is this how you honor the 6th house and the Tribe Unmourned? I mean, technically, she was the waifu of your predecessor, but do you realize what she, Vivek, and Sotasil did? They betrayed your predecessor, and they put me to sleep for several eras. Then they harnessed the power of the heart and made themselves into the false gods of the Tribunal. After all of that transpired, she had the audacity to call herself Mother Morrowind, as though she is this benevolent goddess. Well, when the heart of Lorcan is destroyed, she loses her godhood, and that sends her into a downward spiral. She mutilates Sotasil and tries on multiple occasions to give you the same treatment. In any case, I am glad that you've dealt with her. She also belongs in the D tier. Moving on, the next one on the list is Berenzia. Nerevar, are you serious? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. What a fool you are for adding her on this list. Berenzia is the queen and the queen mother of Morrowind. She is a lady of many skills, including thievery, spellcasting, speechcraft, and negotiation, and spreading her god-awful biography across Tamriel. Some places even, like the Enwa Kingdom of Wayrest, banned her biography, even though she was the queen of Wayrest as well. I don't know how that works. She also had an affair with a nightingale and some other affairs, so she loses a lot of points for not being a loyal waifu. Some of her children and grandchildren are on the list. However, due to her role in helping you, Nerevar, I have to give her the C tier. Janasa is a mercenary and the drunken huntsman in Skyrim. She can be hired for a measly price of 500 gold. She is a fierce warrior and has a passion for violence. When she attacks relentlessly and does not stop fighting Enwa guards in Skyrim, even if the Dragonborn stops. Of course, the Dragonborn has to pay her fine, so it is a win-win for everyone. Also, she is a marriageable option in the game. However, due to her impulsive nature, she is not able to serve as a steward. Overall, she is a solid option as a companion. I will put her in the I tier. If you are enjoying these tier lists, please subscribe to my sermons and honor the sixth house and the tribe unmourned by raising your thumbs and writing on the parchment below, Almalexia is a false god. Morgaia is the daughter of Baron Zia, and she is at first a princess and then a queen in Castle Wayrest. She got her name from her paternal grandmother or something. First of all, why is she a waifu? She already marries an Enwa, and then she sends a letter to Manimarco, the king of worms. What tomfoolery is this? She is a fake waifu, D tier. Naryuvirian is a member of the Morag Tong. She helps the Vestige in order to stop the Lodos plague that has plagued Morrowind. She and Varandavel are the only ones remaining from that cell of the Morag Tong. She is a constant presence in the Vestige's adventures and helps them in multiple quests in Morrowind. I do not have love for the Morag Tong, even though they are a Dunmer organization. Do you know how many writs of executions I had to deal with? I will give her the B tier for being a loyal daughter of Morrowind, though. Tirana is a powerful Telvanni mage that appears on multiple occasions. She might be the nastiest and craziest fetcher on this list. Her quests are so outlandish that even Sheogorath could be impressed. She asks you to find a bow that smells like an ash yam at the Ghost Gate. Just as all Dunmer should, she owns a simp farm tool named Razar. However, I find his lack of any gear disturbing. Seriously, Nerevar, even farm tools deserve a cloth at least. Don't get me wrong, I am not saying this because I like farm tools, far from it. But something must be wrong with you if you refuse to give your farm tool a simple cloth. What madness. In any case, for that reason, she is the target of the Morag Tong and the Archmage Trebonius. She is so vile that even the Dunmer agree with the mongrel dogs of the Empire that they need to get rid of her. She belongs in the D tier. Brelina Marion can be found in the College of Winterhold. She is doing crazy experiments during her free time. She specializes in the school of mysticism, but if she were a true mystic, she wouldn't bother with petty concerns like the college's political squabbles. But all the same, she's definitely a bright star. I would welcome her into the sixth house. Her confidence is both her greatest strength and a potential liability. I hope she does not become arrogant. It could destroy her. I have faith that she will come to appreciate the fact that I am a god. She is both a follower and actual waifu material, but in order to achieve that, you have to become her lab rat. Overall, compared to everyone on this list, she belongs in the A tier. Dravnia the Stoneweaver is a Dunmer from Morrowind that now resides in Kynesgrove in Skyrim and works in the local mines. She works there herself instead of using farm tools like a real Dunmer. The people in town don't treat her particularly well except for Ruggy Nutbeard. She is an expert in alteration magic and can be coerced into marriage by some fire salts. Fire salts, Nerevar. However, considering the fact that she is actually a waifu, I will give her the B tier. Matriarch Drevlin is in charge of the last believers of the false gods of the Tribunal, despite their disappearance. What kind of dumb swit believes in the false gods? The heart is gone, and their godhood is gone. They are frauds, and they still choose to believe them. What a grand and intoxicating innocence. Ghost of Tribunal is definitely a strange quest. She is the last leader of this sect, and the Dragonborn has the option to wipe them out once and for all, or assist them in collecting artifacts pertaining to the Tribunal. Honestly, I would go with the former option since I cannot stand the Tribunal. I have no qualms about putting her into D tier. Gabriella is an enigma. While she joined the Dark Brotherhood, which goes against the morals of the Dunmer organization, I do not like the Morag Tong, but I do despise Gabriella for joining the Enwa organization instead of the Dunmer one. She is very methodical in her plots, however, and the way she planned the contract on Vittoria Vici was quite impressive and meticulous. She even sent the farm tool Vizara to come to help the Dragonborn. Very ingenious. She also apparently used her seduction skills to fulfill another Dark Brotherhood contract. Very clever. While I despise Sithis, the Night Mother, and all that nonsense, but I do respect loyalty. Despite her expressing her loyalty to Astrid, she also expresses her loyalty to the Night Mother, but ultimately perishes due to the attack of the Pentulus Oculatus, or as I like to call them, Petulant Oculatus. Considering all those factors, I am giving her a generous A tier. Irileth is the only Dunmer housecarl in Skyrim, and she is extremely protective of the Enwa Jarl of Whiterun, Jarl Balgruf. While I do appreciate her loyalty, I do not appreciate anything else. Why would a Dunmer serve a Nord Jarl? Did she serve in the mongrel dogs of the Empire Legion with this Enwa? This is the greatest betrayal to the Dunmer I have ever witnessed. She is an Enwa. She served the mongrel dogs of the Empire, and she is now a housecarl to a Nord Enwa Jarl. Is this how she honors the sixth house in the Tribe Unmourned? This upsets me greatly, Nerevar. What do you mean she's one of the more normal ones on this list? Send her to D-tier and get her out of my sight. Now we move on to Karliah. The Enwa Mercer Frey tricks you into believing that she betrayed the guild. She is a member of the House Indoril, the same as you, Nerevar, and is rumored to be the granddaughter of Queen Berenzia and the descendant of you, Nerevar. In any case, she is a part of the Nightingales, and while I don't particularly like Berenzia, as you can see by her placement, I actually do have respect for Karliah. It is up to a Dunmer to save the day, and save the Dragonborn's life from a poison boo-boo. She potentially saved the whole of Mundus from being consumed by Alduin. She is a loyal and honest girl. Even though she worships Nocturnal, it is still far better than worshipping the false gods of the Tribunal. Also, she helps the Dragonborn get rid of that Enwa Mercer Frey. She cannot be a waifu, but if she could be, I would give her an extremely generous S tier. It is not too late for my mercy. Vesparth the Toe also follows the footsteps of the false gods of the Tribunal. The Almsivi is gone. Why are you following them? They do not exist anymore. What is wrong with these Dunmer and their obsession with the Old Tribunal? I don't see anyone obsessing over me, Dagoth Ur. She goes into D tier. Oh, and this is it for this sermon. If you want to prove the Tribunal wrong, don't forget to subscribe to my sermons, raise your thumb, and write on the parchment down below. Also, my Enwa minion might be having his own long-form sermons while twitching and causing discord. Thank you for honoring the sixth house in the Tribe Unmourned.
Hi, this is Chris Hansen with a special announcement. If you ask where Divisi Dran is, you would need to take a seat.